Hey, what's up, World Cup fans? All right, so we are now through the halfway point of the final round of the group. So we know what's going on in A, B, C, D, E, and F. And what we're learning is you most likely need at least 4 points, or you need 4 points to qualify as one of the third place teams. So Sweden and Ecuador and Bosnia, everyone is saying, are all qualified already. We just don't know who they're going to play, even though every matchup I've ran, Sweden pulls France, or whoever wins France Norway today. But I tried running a few different scenarios to try to see, but I'll give you my guesses like normal and show you how Korea, Scotland, definitely Scotland, and Paraguay's probably safe, although they're going to have to play Germany. So, also, today's predictions. Okay, so what I really think will happen compared to what I want to happen, I think Spain is going to beat Uruguay. I think Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia will tie. I think France will beat Norway. And I'm pretty confident Senegal is going to beat Iraq. Now, Senegal is going to have to run up the score. So let's just go ahead and put this one in. Iraq technically could get in as well with like a 5-0 win. They held France to 3-0. And they were one, so they haven't lost by more than 3 goals. Senegal lost to both of those teams. So I'm going to put this one at 2-0. So I don't think Senegal is going to get in with their 3-point. But this one's so tricky to predict. France, Norway. I think the French are just too good. So I'm just going to put them as 2-1, even though it could be like 3-2 or who knows. But I think France and Senegal both win. Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia is a win, or is a tie. This one gets tricky, which I'm going to come back to. And then this part gets tricky also. But what I actually think will happen is Belgium's going to win against New Zealand, and Egypt and Iran will tie. As much as I don't want to see that happen, this is what I think is going to happen. And then Spain is going to beat Uruguay. All right. So those are my real predictions. That ends up putting Uruguay out with 2, Senegal probably out with 3, and Iran on the bubble. If we run the rest, okay, I think it is pretty safe. Like, I feel confident England's going to win tomorrow. Whatever the score, doesn't matter. I'm also pretty confident this game is going to end in a draw. Ghana is going to drop down into that low block, and we saw what they did against England, who I believe are better than Croatia, and the reason being they get second place with a tie. They even get second place if somehow Panama pulls, or they get first, I think, if somehow Panama pulls off a stunner against England. But there's no reason for them to go for the win. They're in for sure, no matter what, but get an extra point, lock up second place. I think that's what Ghana is going to do, and Croatia will still get in. This is a tricky one too. Trying to predict this game, I'm going to say Portugal probably comes back and wins, but I could definitely see that one being a draw. Would not bet on this game. DR Congo, this one changes everything, so I'm going to hold it. So the 2 games I found that changed the whole bracket are this one, or 3, I guess, and whatever, these would change it significantly, and so would these. But I'm I'm going to stick first with my initial predictions and then show you how it could be different. So let's say DR Congo, Uzbek. I do think, honestly, DR Congo is going to beat Uzbekistan. It opens the door up big time if they don't, but that's just what I believe is going to happen. Argentina is going to win. And then this is the tricky one. So I'm just going to put it as a tie. Second place plays most likely Spain. And I don't think either of them want to play Spain, but I also don't think they want to risk getting only 3 points. So reason I'll show you that is if Algeria gets a point, they get in automatically as the third place team. Now, if they, lose on purpose, now they're in trouble. Same with Austria. I mean, if they lose on purpose, they've got 3 points and they are stuck. So with this, the way we just ran it, I ran Algeria. So Senegal, South Korea. I told you Scotland, South Korea were in trouble. And Uruguay all don't make it. So what does that bracket look like? This is the one I think is most likely. Germany, Paraguay, France, Sweden, South Africa, Canada, which is kind of a boring game, but whatever, that one seems set in stone. Some rough ones: Netherlands, Morocco, Brazil, Japan. Those are already locked up. Ivory Coast, if somehow Norway beats France today, this one will flip-flop, which would suck for Ivory Coast. But yeah. And then Mexico, Ecuador, that ends up being a heck of a game and a crappy draw for Mexico, but they are hot right now. England, DR Congo, the other combo, Ecuador. If DR Congo doesn't make it, Ecuador drops here. Egypt, Algeria is a boring one. Colombia, Ghana could be fun. Spain, Austria, that actually would be a good matchup. Switzerland, Iran, Argentina, Cape Verde, Portugal, Croatia, and Australia, Belgium. All right, so that's my initial prediction. All right, while I'm doing this, go smash the subscribe, like, whatever button. I've been picking these almost all correct. Yesterday was a bit messy because we got these teams playing that are already in, but I'm over 80% on my picks, more like 83% for the World Cup so far. So let's reset the whole thing and just show you what happens on if a couple things change. But yeah, drop a comment, who you think, what you think is going to happen. Anything can happen. I mean, I thought initially I picked Ecuador to come out of this group, and then going into yesterday, I thought they had no chance. Everybody picked Turkey to win, Turkey A to win their group. That didn't happen. I don't think anyone had Mexico, South Africa, South Korea. Rest of these might be these are kind of, actually I picked this one exactly like this one exactly like this, and I picked this one with a flip-flop of South Africa, South Korea. So I also picked this one with Turkey, Paraguay flip-flopped. And I had Ecuador second, Ivory Coast third. And I had this exactly the same. So, but this was before I watched any of them. This was like pre-tournament picks. So, yeah. All right. Let's just run a random simulation and see what comes up. And I can change some of these if they are crazy. All right, so this one, let's say Uruguay beats Spain. Cape Verde beats Saudi Arabia. Belgium still wins. Egypt ties Iran. Senegal ties Iraq. Okay. France beats Norway. This is just what this program suggested. Croatia wins. England wins. Uzbekistan wins. Okay, this was one of the things I said. This changes a lot. So does this one. So I'm glad it came out this way. And these two tie. All right, so this tournament would then, these are all the same. I don't know why it's predicted everything. Everything stays the same except Spain is now down here against Mexico. They would be a third place team. That would suck for Mexico. Why does it have it all filled in already? I guess it's predicting the whole thing. Okay, so how did that happen? So if Spain loses to Uruguay today and Cabo Verde wins, then they are the third place team. Whoa. So no one's going to want to play Spain as a third place team. Okay, so this predicts teams. Oh my God. This is not going to happen, but whatever. So it pretty much predicted all the same teams would get in. Germany, Paraguay, France, Sweden, South Africa, Canada, Netherlands, Morocco, Brazil, Japan, Ivory Coast, Norway, Mexico. Here's where it gets different. Spain, England, Ecuador, USA, Bosnia, Egypt, Austria, Croatia, Portugal, Uruguay, Algeria, Iran, Switzerland, Argentina, Cape Verde. It's not still a crappy draw for them. Ghana, Colombia, Belgium, Australia. It then thinks Belgium would win and lose to Colombia. Argentina would beat Cabo Verde. Iran would beat Switzerland but lose to Argentina. So predicted the same final I did, but has Colombia beating Argentina. Colombia is one of my dark horses. And on the top it has Croatia. It has Algeria beating Uruguay, Croatia beating Portugal. This is not my prediction. This is the computer simulating. Egypt beating the US, Croatia beating Egypt, Spain beating Mexico, England beating Ecuador, and then England beating Spain. And then Japan beating Brazil, Ivory Coast beating Norway, and then Ivory Coast beating Japan. All right, computer. Morocco beating Netherlands just to lose to Canada. And then, this is never going to happen, Paraguay beating Germany, Sweden beating France, Sweden beating Paraguay. So this is what their final 8 would be. Sweden, Canada, Ivory Coast, England. So England and Canada move on to the final 4 with Croatia and Colombia. And then Colombia beats Croatia, England. So a Colombia-England final. Anyways, that's not going to happen, but it does show some of the combos that we could see coming out of the group stage. And a lot of that, falls in with only 6 games or 12 games left. A lot of that depends on, I think this group is, who plays who could shake up a little, but, DR Congo is still battling to get in. If they don't win, it opens a spot for someone else. So, that would bounce potentially Austria, I guess, in this scenario. But anyways, I'll keep making them. My predictions for today, again, I want New Zealand to win, but I think Belgium will win. Egypt, Iran, tie. Cape Verde, win. Spain will win, not Uruguay. France will win, and Senegal will win. So France, Senegal, Spain, Belgium, and then ties for Egypt, Iran, Cabo Verde, and Saudi Arabia. All right, y'all. Smash that like, drop a comment. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye.